I gained 70 pounds in about a year and a half. I never had a regular period. I always felt like I had just hormones kind of all over the place. Wasn't really.
You know, you diet. But like,
how many pounds did you lose? Because you were
I don't know, because I don't have a weight scale. This is the truth.
I think, you know, everyone's journey and everyone's recovery and everyone's process is so different, and that's been the beauty of the experience post-movie, is that I'm learning about all different types of forms of recovery.
Body shaming is rampant all over the internet these days, with celebrities and other social media influencers getting it the worst. And in this day and age, I think it's finally time that we embrace that everyone is human and that our weights fluctuate depending on what's going on in our lives, and that's okay. But regardless, there are some celebrities that are constantly talked about in the media because of their bodies, and that's gotta stop. Hey, what's up everyone, it's Mackenzie here, and today on IO, I'm gonna be filling you in on the top 10 celebrity bodies we need to stop talking about. And by we, I mean the media that is always shitting on people for how they look. But before I get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and check out our playlist of other top 10s just like this one right up here. Alright, now let's get into that list. Starting off at number 10, we have Lena Dunham. Lena Dunham, who's the star and creator of HBO's Girls, has always been open about her body and showing reality to her audience, with her showing nudity on the first season of this show and getting lots of reactions online for it. People were so intent on seeing what her real body looked like that feminist site Jezebel said that they'd pay her 10 grand to see unedited photos of her from her Vogue shoot. And when they were released, many of Dunham's hardcore fans were proud to see that there was hardly a change in her figure in the photos. Lena has opened up about her struggles with body image as well, speaking about her hard time growing up being the chubby teenager. But even though critics online speak negatively about her body and her willingness to show it, that doesn't make a difference to her, and she's committed to continuing to show her real body to the cameras. In at number 9, Adele. This is the obvious one, as the whole world has been talking about Adele ever since she stepped out onto her first red carpet, with her first being too big to be a star and people making fun of her weight. But now that she's slimmed down because she made lifestyle changes, people are calling her too thin, with Karl Lagerfeld at one point saying about Adele, quote, "The thing at the moment is Adele. She's a little too fat, but she's a beautiful face and a divine voice." And the fact that he felt okay with saying that kind of a statement publicly is just such an issue in itself. But now every photo of Adele that's being released after her weight loss is exploding in the press. And even though most people are congratulating her for her weight loss, there's still an issue with that too. Like, why is her body making headlines when there are so many other amazing achievements that we could be talking about instead? Like, she is amazing. She's the best singer ever. And in at number 8, Jennifer Hudson. When Jennifer Hudson first came onto the Hollywood scene, she was called too fat for Hollywood. But then she signed a deal with Weight Watchers and ended up losing more than 80 pounds after she became a spokesperson for the brand. Then when she thought everyone would be happy with her new look, she was called out for being too thin. Classic. Jennifer now talks about how she maintains her figure, speaking of the types of foods that she eats to stay slim. But at this point, I'm sure she's tired of people asking about her body, honestly. And at number 7, Kate Winslet. I've talked about Kate on the channel before because she's such an amazing role model, as she goes out of her way to promote healthy body standards for women. Ever since she was thrust into the spotlight with her legendary role in Titanic, her body has been the talk of the media. But Kate stands her ground and normalizes imperfections and realistic beauty standards. Kate made the biggest splash back in 2003 when she was on the cover of GQ. And when people started complimenting her for her crazy skinny figure, she came out saying that the photos actually weren't real, saying the image was heavily photoshopped and she didn't really look like that. Adding, quote, "I just didn't want people to think I was a hypocrite and that I'd suddenly lost 30 pounds or whatever." And we just love her for that. In at number 6, Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham has always had a reputation of being runway model skinny, with people in awe of how she keeps her thin shape. But a lot of the speculation isn't flattering, with people contemplating if her thin weight is due to eating issues. And even though her eating habits are a hot topic, Victoria rarely talks about it in the press, admitting that she can be somewhat obsessive about her 6 days a week fitness regimen. But even though she had an incredibly successful music career and raised 4 beautiful children, it seems all people can talk about is the way she looks, which is such a snooze fest. Halfway through number 5, Jessica Simpson. Jessica Simpson's body has been the talk of the town ever since her bombshell role in Dukes of Hazzard. But when Jessica became pregnant and started to gain weight is when the shame started. After the birth of her second child is when she partnered up with Weight Watchers to lose the baby weight. And she ended up doing just that, reportedly losing 60 pounds in 4 months. However, after the shocking weight loss, she did end up parting ways with Weight Watchers. She then ended up losing another 100 pounds after gaining weight again once she had her third child. But while everyone was obsessing about her weight, Jessica was proving just how savvy of a businesswoman that she is by building up her personal fashion brand, with it now being worth over $1 billion and making it one of the most successful celebrity fashion brands ever. And at number 4, Oprah. Oprah was one of the first women to publicly open up about her relationship with dieting and body image, with her also being a huge voice telling women to accept themselves for who they are. Saying in an interview, quote, "The next time you look in the mirror, try to let go of that storyline that says you're too fat or too sallow, too ashy or too old, your eyes are too small or your nose is too big. Just look in the mirror and see your face." She was also the first black woman to ever grace the cover of Vogue, which put pressure on her weight. She explained, quote, "If you want to be on the cover of Vogue and editor-in-chief Anna Wintour says you gotta be down to 150 pounds, that's what you gotta do." And she's opened up about all the painful moments she endured while she was struggling with her weight, but she's now proud to be on the other side of all that and teaching women how to love their bodies. But Oprah does a lot more than just advocate for bodies. She's literally one of the most successful people of all time. She's also propped up other health professionals in the industry, including Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil. And she has tons of philanthropic endeavors, like a girls' school in South Africa. And at number 3, Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer's body was the talk of the town after Hunger Games was released, and some insane people actually thought she was not thin enough for the role. Like, what? But they tried to play it off by saying she didn't look poor and hungry enough to be in District 12. Okay. J.Lo responds perfectly to all the criticism, joking in an interview once that in Hollywood, she's obese. Also adding that she does no form of dieting. J.Lo also does her best to be a great role model to women, telling girls to focus on their dreams instead of how they look. Saying in one interview, quote, "I'd rather look chubby on screen and like a person in real life." And it's insane that these people have so much to say about her body when we all know she's literally gorgeous, and I just personally love how relatable she is. And at number 2, Christina Aguilera. Christina is known for many things in the industry, with one of the worst being how many different body types she's been over the years. Due to her pregnancies and various different gigs over the years, people have seen her weight fluctuate drastically, with some people even speculating that liposuction was responsible for her most recent weight loss. But she shut that down, and revealed the weight loss was actually just due to a low-carb diet and yoga. But even though the media buzzes about her body, she's learned to ignore it and try to keep a positive attitude. Telling Mary Claire, quote, "It's noise I block out automatically. I love my body. My boyfriend loves my body. My son is healthy and happy, so that's all that matters to me." And really could not agree more with that. And finally at number 1, Khloe Kardashian. If you've kept up with the Kardashians at all during their rise to fame, then you might already know that Khloe has been compared to her sisters ever since she was a child, with her often being referred to as the ugly duckling of the group, with the press blatantly calling her horrible things like the ugly fat sister, which she revealed made her question her own body image a lot. And at one point in the show, her stepfather, now Caitlyn Jenner, even told her she should lose a few pounds. And this clearly got to Khloe, as in one episode of the show, she was asked to pose nude for PETA, but during the shoot she got too scared to take off her robe, saying that she was way too fat to be naked. She ended up caving into the pressure and signed a deal with Quick Trim, losing weight while working with the company. But at that time, she still fluctuated with her weight a lot, telling Us Weekly, "If I can make other people feel good about their ups and downs in weight, then I want to be that person." Now Khloe seems to be keeping a steady weight, but she's being talked about again because of her use of Photoshop on her images, which is something that I think she still deserves a little bit of shade for. Alright everyone, that's all for me today. Tell me what you're thinking down below. But before I head out, I'm going to shout out some comments for my video on the gender reveal party starting a fire. I still have to roll my eyes at that. Miss Megan said it actually took a fire for people to be like, yeah, maybe this isn't a good idea. Yeah, I feel like in the beginning people were kind of like, why are these a thing? Especially in 2020 when I feel like gender is becoming less of a, thing. Like I feel like gender is becoming more fluid, and then it's all of a sudden these like crazy parties that are kind of like pushing it on everyone. It just felt strange for that reason, and then it's like, okay, yeah, let's actually like explode at a baby shower with a pregnant woman. Like it just doesn't even make sense from that standpoint. Like you wouldn't want to shock, scare them, or like hurt them potentially. Just so much to go wrong. Then Garnet97 said, "I live in California and yesterday this guy looked like the world was gonna end. People please rethink the pyrotechnics, the campfires, and stop throwing your cigarettes in grass." It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Okay, like A plus B equals C, right? So like, okay, it's really hot, it's really windy, we have fires a lot. Let's like not start one? It's so crazy. Then Carla said, "New parents, we're having a baby. Let's burn the world down, show everyone what we're having." That's really what it is. Like, do these people just like need something so badly in their lives they need to like blow something up to tell a story at a dinner party? Like I don't get it at all. Alright everyone, that's all for the video today. Thanks so much for sticking around if you made it all the way here, and be sure to like and subscribe below if you like and want to see more. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith, and I'll see you in the next one. Philanthropic. No, it's right.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, I thought like a philanthropy.
I'm sure enough of that that I'll include it.
I've never said that word.